And she was like, the gift to gab. I was like, who says that? No one says that. And then if you said yapping, like you're a yapper, then I would be like, okay, yeah, I got that. But the gift to gab, I could use context clues to figure it out.
That's the gift of gab has been around a long time before yappers.
Funny enough, we looked it up, and apparently yapping's been around since like the 16th century.
Oh wow!
And gift to gab is like the 18th century.
Oh, okay. So maybe not.
So I think after a certain threshold of time, words end up coming back.
Yeah.
And then it's
like bell bottoms.
Bell bottoms, low rise jeans.
Low rise jeans.
Yeah.
Now they're not called. They're called straight legs now. They're not called bell bottoms.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, that's it's very similar to different hairstyles. Remember when I talked to you about low taper fade?
Yes.
And you're like, that's not even a thing.
Yeah, I was like, who calls it that? It's called a low bald fade, not a low taper fade. Because everybody says, oh, a fade. Well, a fade is what it is. It tapers from nothing to something or less to more. It tapers.
So then what's the difference between a skin fade and then there's bald fade, skin fade? It's like the same thing.
Bald fade and a skin fade is the same thing.
Yeah, because it's close to the skin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People come in, oh my gosh, it burns my chops every time a kid comes in and says, can I get a 16 guard with a textured fringe on top? I was like, first of all, a 16 guard is 2 inches. If you're cutting and using a clipper with 2 inches, you do not know how to cut hair. You should be using scissors. And they're like, 16 guard with a textured fringe and styling powder, please.
Styling
I was
powder.
like, yeah, styling powder. I'm like, dude, you need to stay off TikTok searching for your haircuts.
Well, people like to come up with new lingo. Give me 1 second. I have PTSD because every time I record a podcast episode, I for some reason don't press record. Only video. But we're good.
But you're good.
Yeah, we're good.
All right.
It's just PTSD.
You can cut that out.
Oh, no, it's in. We keep everything in. Everything's raw here.
Right.
We don't cut anything out.
Raw.
But do you know also one thing that we usually keep in when I start the podcast? The intro. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on the next episode of the Leisure Hub podcast. My name is Justin, your host, and alongside me, my uncle, Nelson, came alongside to talk about barbershop business, which is an interesting topic alone. You kind of picked up a little bit of what we were referring to here a little bit. We dropped some nuggets in there, little golden nuggets here and there. But we were just talking about like different hairstyles and stuff like that. I think over time, people like to call the same thing like a different name. It happens even with the word like gift to gab. Like you have yap and there's different like languages that change over the course of time. So I think it's like, I mean, every generation has their word, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's inspirational though. Like you have someone that became famous with a certain haircut and that's the haircut you want.
Yeah.
Back in our day, back in the 1970s, it was Kwame. Kwame was a straight box top, and he had stairs cut in his head.
Yeah, that guy.
With a blonde, with a blonde top.
Yeah.
So everybody was like, "Hey, give me the Kwame." You know what I mean? What was that? A box. It was a box with a step in it. That's just what it was.
How often do you get? Obviously, there's a certain hair type that can do that, but like how often do you get people coming in to get like a flat top or a box or something like that?
The old guys come in all the time.
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, we had a flat. And I'm like, well, I learned the lingo because the old guys, I didn't cut flat tops. Mm-hmm. So they were like, yeah. And I asked them, do you want the landing strip in the middle or not? Well, the landing strip means that you take that clipper right to the top of their head, right? Yeah. So they can see the middle of their skull and everything's flat after that.
Yeah.
And some guys, they're like, no, just give me get it up and then cut it flat.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, some guys, they don't change their haircuts. They stay old school, whether they're in the Navy, Army, Marines, whatever, they keep it.
Yeah. I mean, it's different because I feel like depending on like the location, like the lingo also changes. Mm-hmm. So like if you were out west, they would probably call it something completely different. Right, I would assume.
Not those.
No, not those.
That's
maybe.
A flat top. But no, because like we were talking about the low taper fade.
Yeah.
Right. That that had to have come somewhere out west, or
Right.
maybe even we've got a lot of late influence from like London,
Right.
you know,
right.
Europe.
Yeah.
Like this new textured fringe that's going on. Hey, everybody's like, yeah, give me that low taper frayed with his 16 guard and texture powder because I saw it on TikTok. And then they pull up the TikTok video, and I'm like, you want a low ball fade with the scissors on top. That's all you want, you know. And they're like, well, no, I want a textured. Shut up. I know what you want.
Yeah.
You showed me the picture.
Yeah.
That's not what it is.
It's like when you've been doing something for a certain amount of time, like you know exactly what it is. It's but to your point, it's one of those things where when you're young, or if you don't really know what the terms are, you kind of just take another person's word for it.
Yeah.
That you heard from somewhere else. But I have the philosophy of, like, if I'm going somewhere to do something and somebody's doing something for me, that person's the professional. Like,
Yeah.
I'm coming in there to show a picture, and then they tell me exactly what it is, and they do their job, right?
Yeah.
It's like, would you call a plumber for an electrical job? No. It's like you let the electrician do their job, and you don't question. I mean, within reason.
Yeah.
But you don't question what they're doing for the most part. And same thing with even being like a web designer, right? A lot of people will they'll say, "Oh, I can build my website on Squarespace or Wix and blah blah blah. Why should I pay you X amount of money?" Well, it's like, you're gonna charge. I'm gonna charge you the same way that a plumber or an electrician would charge you, because it's like a specific craft that I know that you don't. Everybody thinks it's easy. Everybody thinks like they know what a haircut is, and they're just like, "Oh, it's just X, Y, and Z." But before we get started, too far into it.
Oh, wait a second. Didn't we start?
We did.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
We're only like 5 minutes in.
Okay. Good.
There's one specific thing that I tell people when I start this podcast. So I showed you a little bit of an outline when you started this. Right. So your outline is different than my outline.
Right.
My outline is a little bit more in depth, but there's two secret components to the very beginning of the podcast. So one I'll disclose shortly in like a couple seconds, but the other one is at the very end. It's a nice little surprise. I like to surprise people at the end. So just prepare yourself at the end. There might be a little secret or a little, splash of color, if you
like
will.
Surprises?
I love surprises.
You like surprises? I got a surprise for you.
Take the hands out of the pocket. It's concerning.
My hands are cold.
I'll go get you gloves. You want gloves?
What am I supposed to do with my hands?
You got to stir the mashed
Gotta
potatoes
stir the
with
mashed
your good
potatoes.
hand, if you know what I'm referring to. Yeah, there you go. So, quick little question for you. Growing up, what did the barbershop signify for you compared to how it is now?
Okay. Well, first part of that question, growing up, I didn't grow up.
You already been up.
No, I'm still not there. But to me, see, it was tough because I grew a love for the barbershop after I got older. Because my mom would we didn't have much money.
Right.
My mom would give me $3.
Yeah.
She said, now walk up to the School of Cosmetology and get your hair cut for $3. It's $2 for the cut, and you gave $1 for a tip.
Right.
And it was a coin toss and a roulette, Russian roulette, when you came out of there to see what kind of, you get asked for whatever you want. Well, whatever they gave you is what you got.
Right.
And they'd call the instructor around after the student cut your hair to try and fix it. I remember one time I left there with bangs. I was like, what is this? And he came in. I went home, put gel in my hair, and slicked that thing back as far as we didn't have gel, so I used Crisco.
Did you really use?
Yes, I did. Some lard, slap that bad boy right in.
Hey, you gotta make do with what you have, right?
Hey, they still do it. They don't know that that's what originally grease is. It's just not all of it is a petroleum product. It's a lot of it was animal byproduct.
Right.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. And then now with like environmentalists and animal protection stuff, like people are trying to remove a lot of that stuff out of products and stuff like that, so that way they can be a little bit more conscientious of
of the world, and then
Yeah.
they make it out of chemicals, which then harms you.
Right.
So it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're not going to be around to enjoy the world you're saving.
Yeah. Wow. I never imagined losing hair would be this fun.
Yes.
So when did you start? I guess like you said, you didn't really experience your love for the barbershop until later, which was like when?
So in high school, my friend used to cut my hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, my boy G just used to cut my hair. I'd go over to his house and be like, yo, your clippers? He's like, my clippers ain't working. I'd be like, bro, you got to get them things working. I'm barking.
Yeah.
And everything that guys are doing now, they comb, they leave everything up top and then shave everything on the sides. I was doing that in high school in 1992,
Yeah.
91.
Yeah.
You know, and now it's coming back. And I was like, I told you come that. I was like, I was doing this in high school.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't until probably I hit 23, 24. And then I was going to high school. I mean, I started to go to the barbershop when I got married, and I'd take an hour lunch break. I'd make an appointment. I'd go in, get my hair cut, and then head back.
Yeah. Interesting. Because I think a lot of people, at least in college specifically, they get into like, obviously you're a college kid, and so you run into like a money problem where you're like, well, I don't have money to be dishing out for like 20 some bucks or whatever for a haircut. So somebody in their, one of their friends knows how to cut hair. Yeah. My friend Austin cut multiple people's hair when he was in college, and he learned how to cut hair. And like he's cut my hair a couple times on the side, like when I needed something quick, like the day of, and like just to cut the sides down. And he did a really, really good job. I think so. Like, I think you either when you try to do something then and there, like you learn that you might be interested in that specific thing. But you went to school for it, or no?
No, I learned it as an apprentice.
Right.
And the only reason I wanted to be an apprentice was because I was in the shop one day, and I'm realizing these guys are sitting around talking for 8 hours.
Yeah.
And just moving their hands, staying in the same place, having a blast.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is what I want to do. And guess what? By George, I did it.
You did it.
I did it.
I mean, you had to learn the ropes though, but I think at that time when you were learning how to, or like you were just learning how to do stuff or to cut hair, the culture was different, right? Like people would probably come into the barbershop for hours and just sit there and just have a conversation.
Oh yeah, the culture was way different back then. Back then, you didn't really make an appointment.
Right.
You came in, you sat in the shop. We had a sign-in sheet.
Yeah.
And it was like 20 slots deep. And people would just come in and be like, yo, what? I'm next, and they'd sign.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they'd leave and come back in about 15, 20 minutes. Or they'd have 7, 8, 9 down. Mm-hmm. If you weren't there when your time came up,
you're out.
You're out.
You're out, buddy.
Yeah, I'm sorry, you're done. But yeah, that's how we did it. And some people would just come out, hang out. When I first opened up my barbershop, I had the idea of putting on movies.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I just had movie after movie. I had stacks of CDs or DVDs.
Yeah.
And I would just put on a movie after movie, and people would be like, they were bootleg movies. so
your hands like, guy comes
this is
in
still
through...
in the theater. How did you get this? It's none of your business. Just get your hair cut.
Your hand comes in through the side of the screen. Somebody's getting up, walking across.
Her ponytail going like this all the way across the screen.
You hear... talk in the background.
Somebody bring their baby. Oh my gosh.
That they should just not keep baby, or people should not bring babies to movies. I talked about that with another buddy. It's like some people when they go to the movie theater, they're on their phone, and it's like it doesn't matter whether you drop the brightness all the way down or not. Like especially if somebody's behind you, it's like blasting in your face.
It is.
It doesn't happen a lot. But there's always one person in the movie theater that thinks that no one's watching me. But usually they're, unfortunately, my generation, if not younger.
Yes.
Younger than that. I have a quick little game I wanted to play with you. Okay, so the game is you're going to stand up.
Okay.
Okay. You're going to walk upstairs and you're going to leave.
Okay.
And then you're never going to come back.
Yay!
So you ready to go?
Ready to go.
All right. So it's the game is called Keep It or Cut It.
Uh-huh.
So, okay. So walk-in culture. Keep it or cut it?
Keep it.
Keep it. Straight razor shaves.
Keep it.
Keep it. TV blasting sports.
Keep it.
Keep it. Appointment apps.
they work for some people.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. They like, so for me,
Mm-hmm.
I don't do it that way.
Right.
Somebody schedules a haircut and that haircut is 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know that person.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to cut their hair in 20 minutes and have 10 minutes left.
Right.
If I do that 6 times throughout the day, I've lost an hour.
Right.
So now an hour worth of work for me, if I'm just getting a haircut fee,
Mm-hmm.
is close to $70.
Right.
So I lost $70 that day.
Right.
So it's not, for me, haircut apps, they don't work.
Cut it.
You know, cut it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it just depends on your flow, like what system you have set up. Otherwise, you kind of need it. Like if you're if you're sports clips,
Mhm.
then I guess in that case you would probably keep it. But
Yeah.
I think for small local businesses, I think they can get away with doing like walk-in, call-in, stuff like that.
Yeah, but the problem is that for me, they call in or they make the appointment, they come in, they sit, and then you don't know if they're coming in. The great thing is they've paid you already,
Right.
but then they're not prone to tip you when they leave
Right.
because they already tipped you on the card, or they just paid the fat rate.
Mm-hmm.
You know, as to where if they're checking out, it prompts them to tip, and if they don't want to tip, they don't have to,
Right.
but it'll prompt them. And as a conscious thing, they'll be like, man, this guy did a good job.
Yeah.
And they hit the tip button, whether it be the lowest tip or the highest tip, doesn't matter, but you got an extra amount of money.
Mm-hmm.
And usually for me, it's about $5
Mhm.
for the lowest tip. And that's $5. And math looks like $5 in a half an hour, $10. I made $10 more an hour than I would have if I wouldn't have gotten a tip.
Right.
So
Yeah. So, I mean, in other words, like booking appointments, at least for you, is kind of like you kind of lose out on money.
I lose money.
Couldn't you set up like a system where, like a booking, like when you book a spot, you essentially already pay for it. So
Mhm.
like it would do one of two things. One, you would be paid, and two, it would incentivize the person booking
Mhm.
to actually show up. If they didn't show up, they lost on our money. Like you could put in like a disclaimer type
They
of
do.
thing.
They do have that.
Yeah,
That's how
yeah.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the problem, like, I'd rather somebody be in my chair.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why we say walk-ins welcome too.
Mm-hmm.
Because if somebody makes the appointment and doesn't show up, I still put somebody in my chair.
Right.
Then you get double if you have the app.
Mhm.
But I don't do that.
Yeah.
It's tough for me to like, I hate looking at my phone as it is.
Right.
You know what I mean? And to see, okay, I got to look at my schedule. You know, I got to,
Mhm.
when people come in, I'm like, who's your appointment with? And they say, oh, it's with you. Okay, cool. It's with you.
Yeah.
I don't have to look at my phone because they already know who they're coming
Mhm.
to see.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's another reason that these guys do it, because they charge more for haircuts
Mm-hmm.
because they can't fit everybody in that space.
Mm,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
So they're like, man, I'm losing 10 minutes. I got to make that up. I got to charge an extra $5 for the fee.
Mhm.
And then plus whatever it costs for them to have the app, the
Right.
booking app.
Right. Yeah. Because most of those booking apps, they charge you money to run it. Like they're not free unless you go through like a third party and you
Mhm.
do it that way. Most of the time you're getting charged for it. Cash tipping, keep it or cut it.
Keep it.
you mean you don't want to cut it?
What? Why would you cut cash tips? I mean, nobody sees it. The government doesn't see it.
Yeah.
I mean, Cash App came in and ruined everything. I hate Cash App.
Kids hang out in the barbershop, keep it or cut it. I'm saying like 13, 14 kids. Like I don't think kids really do that much anymore, but
No,
walking in, just chilling in the barbershop.
they don't do that, and I cut it because then they're taking up space of people that want to get in, or somebody that comes to the door with a walk-in, looks in and sees it's packed, and we're like, nah. I've had to do it several times where I bang on the door real quick. Hey, say, hey, come back. These are all taken care of, or they're just sitting waiting.
Mm-hmm.
They're not waiting for a haircut,
Yeah.
and
That's just being proactive. It's
Yeah.
like, you're trying to make money. It's like,
Mhm.
and like anybody who walks away is like a loss of money and a client in general.
exactly.
This one's, I feel like is a no brainer, but premium pricing, keep it or cut it.
Cut it.
How do you feel about like when I'm sure you've seen those Instagram reels or TikTok reels where people are charging like $100 for a haircut?
Great.
Yeah.
That's why their clientele so low.
Yeah.
But See, at my skill level, and as long as I've been doing it for 26 years, okay, well, going on 26 years.
Yeah.
And the fact that I'm doing it for 26 years, I'm efficient. I don't waste. There's very few strokes wasted.
Right.
You know what I mean? I know what I'm doing. I know how to get past things and get things done. So if I'm doing that, then it allows me more time.
Right.
For whatever I'm doing. It allows me more time for getting the next person in, or if I have to clean up or whatever the case may be, I get it done. But these guys that are charging $100, they're taking their time, tapping, cleaning up. Man, that doesn't make sense to me. If I can get you done in a half hour, then if that's the case, well then if that's what you want an hour's worth of my time, well, I'm going to charge you the hour.
Sure.
I'm going to charge you $70-$80 a cut.
Yeah. What about some of the places that do like a full on spa? they do a massage, they do like a haircut, they do like a shave and all that stuff. I think the value in like a haircut depends on what services are being included in it, right? Like I think if you're giving like a whole bunch of stuff,
absolutely,
then yeah, obviously because you're using a lot of materials, right? You gotta like
it's time,
right?
It's
and
time.
Yeah.
I don't love it.
Yeah.
I like facial massages. I can do them. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I have a vaporizer, blow the hot steam in your face.
Does it really do anything?
It does. It opens up your pores and allows, when you do the facial scrub, for everything to come to the surface. Gets rid of the top layer of your skin, which is, the dead layer of your skin, which is on your dermis, which is the top layer of your skin,
right.
and cleans you up. You feel refreshed. Your skin feels more pliable, malleable, and it's just nicer to have that way.
Yeah. I mean, I can remove the first layer of my skin, no problem. I just grab an X-Acto knife and just start shaving away.
You could do that. Yeah, that'd be real easy. You'd be ugly afterwards, but yeah. Or you could just use what do they call them? The Mr. Scrubs. just start steel wool.
I'm already halfway there.
Get
anyway.
it off. That'll get it all off.
But we kind of touched a little bit about like different booking apps and different ways to pay. So there's a convenience factor of today that never used to exist. When you were getting started in cutting hair. How do you feel like the convenience factor has altered business, or at least like communicating with customers?
Well, I feel like nowadays people don't talk to each other as it is.
True.
You know what I mean? Everything's a text or a message or an email. I hate that.
Yeah. I'm
a personable person. I like to talk to people.
Really?
Yeah. No, it's kind of. Anyway, that's the
would have never
survey's
guessed.
still out. So I have people call, and if not, text me. I'm like, hey, text me. And if I'm busy, I'm going to call you.
Yeah.
And then you hit me, please text me. I'll call you back.
Yeah.
Because it's more personable for me, and it builds relationship with people. Instead of texting, you actually get to talk to them, and that. There's something that when you hear someone's voice, you get to know them. You feel like you know them more than if it is through text.
Yeah. You text is like there's also certain types of conversations that you don't really have over text. Like me personally, like if there's a specific issue that you have with somebody, right? Like I would much rather not text it all in like a message. I would say I would much rather like set aside some time and like have that conversation with somebody in person rather than. Even on the phone, even if it's a phone call, I would much rather meet with that person in person.
Right.
It's more genuine, and then you can also see the person's like their facial reactions and their response, their body language to how you're talking. Are they receiving it well, or are they not receiving it well? The same thing also applies with this general conversation, right? With like people, it's like if you're talking to somebody and they seem like they're not interested in like what you're saying. Or they're kind of not really paying attention, which I think a lot of people have had that happen to them. You can kind of be like, okay, this person's probably not somebody that I want to continue talking to. I can think of one person specifically, but I won't say him on this podcast. But like but to your point, like you can generally get a better feel for a person when you talk to them. I 100% agree with that.
Absolutely. There's a guy that comes into our shop. And like I told one of my guys, I was like, make sure that you get this guy in early before I come in.
Yeah.
Because he talks too much. Like he talks about everything. You mentioned politics, he talks about politics.
Yeah.
You mentioned candy, he talks about candy. You mentioned golf, he talks about golf. Whatever you mention, he's got an opinion about it, and he just keeps going and going. And then he's like, yeah, all right, everybody, I'll see you later. And he's snapping, dapping everybody, the whole crew, like little kids. He's like, everybody hands out, and he's rolling down the line. I'm like, come on, just leave. Just leave.
He's having a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you should start.
I'm glad we could be that for him, though, because I'm not sure if, like, he doesn't have an out, but, you know, I'm glad we could be that for him.
Yeah. I definitely have met people where, I mean, I can be that guy sometimes, but like I have met people where they just keep going, and it's like, how do I get out of doing this? And for you, you work there, so it's like you can't go anywhere. Where are you supposed to go?
Yeah. That's kind of like a ministry tool for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, when people sit in my chair,
yeah,
I tell them about Jesus all the time.
Yeah.
And if they can't go nowhere, what you gonna do? Leave without have a haircut? You're gonna finish what I got to say. You're gonna hear what I got to say.
Yeah.
And as I start shaving your neck, I ask you, do you want to meet him?
Yeah. It's like you have no choice, right? In the matter. I mean, you have a choice after.
So if I slipped right now with this razor, would you meet Jesus or would you not?
Only time will tell. We also talked about walk-ins.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, every time I come up there, I see people walk in like sporadic. I mean, I'm only there for like 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. But like most of the time I don't, I see a couple people walk in. Have you noticed a decrease in walk-ins, or is it still about the same?
Well, definitely noticed a decrease in walk-ins, but I noticed there's still quite a few.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's still quite a few. People walk in. I had 3 the other day. They walked in and said, hey, I don't know if you take walk-ins. I was like, sure we do. Come on in.
Absolutely.
And I yell out to the guys first because I like to give them, hey, you guys got any walk-ins? And sometimes they're like, no, I don't. Give me 5 minutes and I'll be right with you. And I get through the haircut that I'm doing and cut them. Yeah, the next person might have to wait an extra 5 minutes, but my clients they like to talk. So they come in and chit-chat for a while. Yeah. Some of them just sit on their phone.
Yeah. I think that's kind of what a barbershop has never really lost that. It's kind of still that place where like, it may not be like where it used to, it might not have been like what it used to be back in like maybe like the 80s or 90s where people would just sit in there for like 5 hours and talk.
No. They don't set up a chessboard anymore and play.
No. Or even outside. But it's still a place where like you can, it's like a warm opening or welcoming spot where you can kind of talk about whatever, as long as you're respectful to like whatever it is. And it's kind of like a guy's, in other words, a guy's safe haven where women aren't supposed to be there and the guys can kind of talk about whatever.
Well, sometimes women are there and they get caught up in the mess and they're just like sitting back like, wow, this is and some of them are married. They're like, is this how my husband feels? I can guarantee you says yes.
Yeah.
He feels exactly like that.
Feels exactly like it to a T.
Yes.
Whenever you finish like a haircut, I mean, obviously you had mentioned like cash is obviously always better because I mean you deal with like credit card fees, you deal with like Cash App. You said ruins like kind of like the you lose a little bit of profit when you go through a lot of those sources. Tap to pay is not really anything different. It's just, I mean, you're still using card.
Yeah.
But that's like another convenience factor that I've noticed that you threw in the mix.
Yeah.
I would assume if you could get rid of it.
I hate it.
Hey, do you take card?
Hey, I always tell them cash preferred, card accepted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's getting harder nowadays though, right? Because like most people don't carry around cash. I mean, especially, you know, speaking for myself, but my generation and younger, like I've met people within my age bracket that they carry cash with them all the time. Me, on the other hand, this is the issue I run into. I'll pull out cash, right? And I'll use it for haircut specifically. And then it'll sit in my wallet for months. I'll never use it. I'll go out to like a bar or I'll go out to like a restaurant. Instead of using like the $10 that I use, I'm like, oh, well, I don't have enough to give the person. So I'm like, I'll just use my card. Even though I have $10 that I could pay for part of it and then split the difference with my card. So that's usually what I run into is that like I notice that I have the cash, but I never use it because I'm like, oh, card is just easier to use. But I will say I've run into instances where I pull out my wallet and I'm like, hey, can you split this? So that way I don't have to spend as much money because you still have it, right? But it's not as
I have I usually carry a card as well.
Right.
But one day cards don't work. I went to a place and their machines were down. Yeah. And they couldn't charge me. And I was like, well, I want to honor you. I want to pay for your haircut. So that's why I always carry cash hidden. Always carry cash hidden.
Well, now you told everybody where all the money is.
Yeah.
So now I'm going to take it.
Yeah, but you got to get it first. That's going to be another story. That's another podcast.
Actually, I think people would love to see that.
What's that?
Me attempting to take the money from you.
Okay, you start. I'll finish.
Okay, well, how about this will be like a post credit.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, but no, like I have money on me at all times. Why? Not a lot, but I know I'm never going to spend more than $200 when I go out. You know what I mean? And $200. What's $200? Back in the day, $200 was a lot. $200. That's like 4 Happy Meals now.
Happy Meals are almost like $10, $12.
Jeez.
It's not a Happy Meal anymore if you're making me sad.
And they're right. No, it's not a Happy Meal. My God.
How have you been able to change the business over time? Because like, you love it and you it started with the love and then it kind of migrated to more of a business. I think in our family you're the only one that has a business, right? Yeah. And successfully at that, like continuously successful, where you're making plenty of money to pay for your bills and go out and take care of yourself and do some of the extra stuff that you want to do, and also give to the church and everywhere else that you spend your money. I think the business aspect is a part of going to a barbershop that a lot of people kind of like don't really pay attention to too much. So what would you say, like, how have you grown it in, like, since your vision at 20 in your 20s to like now?
Right. So when I started at 26, right?
Yeah.
I learned how they were making money.
Yeah.
Okay. And I was like, gosh, I got to make this. First of all, I was like, there's no overhead. You buy your clippers, make sure your clippers are clean. You have alcohol, clipper side, and neck strips. You know what I mean? Every now and then you buy a cape or a smock for yourself to cover yourself from getting hair all over you. But that's it. You know, and that percentage of overhead was probably like 3% for the year.
Right.
So basically everything you're making is yours as you work at a barbershop.
Right.
And you got your chair rent, of course. But I mean, with your chair rent.
Is that standard at a lot of barbershops? Or
a lot of guys have moved to commission now. And that, like, I hired a kid that was paying commission. He was like, dude, I never thought I'd be making this much money. Because he made 200, they took 50.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And it was like, I'd make $200 a day and give him 50. Now I'm back down to 150. And I was like, look, I charge a flat rate as long as you come to work. If not, I got to charge you more. Yeah. Because you're not coming to work. That means people aren't coming through my door. And if people aren't coming through the door, that means you and us are not getting clients. So we have to, it's like we work for each other. Right. Because we got to make sure that people are continually coming through the door. When you're like, oh, I don't feel like taking somebody, that's potentially a new client that's not going to come back through our doors. Right. Because they went somewhere else. So unless somebody else messes them up, then they come back, which has happened quite a few times.
Yeah. I don't think you can, at least with cutting hair, I mean, it's with anything, right? I don't think you can get away with not messing up somebody's hair in some fashion where some customer is upset, right? I feel like you're pretty good at handling defragging an altercation.
Yeah.
Like what's your general go-to? Like when if somebody's like, or what's a scenario that you've went through maybe recently where like somebody was unhappy with their cut or payment or something like that? I don't know.
Shows me a picture.
Yeah.
And I look and I'm like, okay, I know exactly what that is. How you want it. You don't have that hair. No, but you could do this. You don't have that hair.
Right.
Your hair's way too curly for this. It's more straightened. Unless you're going to straighten your hair all the time. Now can you cut it like that?
Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
I'm
That's what you want.
Just like that. I blow dried it, straighten it out. That's what it's going to look like. Then on purpose, I wet it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, messed it up. All the water took. His hair went. And I was like, eh. And that's what you're going to end up with unless you blow dry it.
Yeah.
That's not what I asked for. It is what you asked for. You just didn't realize you had to put that much work into your haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I was like, that's what it is. I haven't seen the kid back since.
Yeah.
Hey, not my problem.
Yeah.
You know,
it's one thing. It's one thing to ask for something. It's a completely different thing to expect. I mean, I've gone through that phase of my of my life where I have curly hair. There's just no getting around it. It is what it is. But over the past couple of years, I've learned to embrace it. But I will say, curly hair and the type of hair that I have is not easy to maintain at all. It is a lot of work in general.
Your hair don't take water.
No, it doesn't. It's like a sponge. It's like a sponge.
Like a Brillo pad. Brillo pads don't hold water.
You know the meals that they give to the army. Like it's dry food, and then they put water in it, and then
it comes to life.
Yeah. Even Vicky's hair. I mean, I don't think you've ever seen it when it's like freshly cut or anything, but like she puts a lot of work into it to get it to do what she would do. And I would watch her hair routine, and she apparently used to spend like an hour, 2 hours doing her hair and shaved it down to like, now it's like 45 minutes to an hour.
Well, now my daughter Madeline has the same type of hair you do.
Yeah.
Like, but it's red.
You're right.
So she has to spend at least 45 minutes in there wetting it, soaking it, putting product through every strand, then combing it, making sure it has bounce to it. Then she throws it up in a bun.
So what was even the point?
What is your problem?
If you were just going to throw it in the bun anyway, you could have just thrown it into the bun.
It's okay. She's a teenager. She'll figure it out.
Yeah, it's at this point, she's not super concerned about it, but the older she gets, she's like, I got to make sure my hair is exactly how I want it. I one thing I didn't realize about, obviously curly hair takes a lot of work, but I didn't realize how deep the rabbit hole could go with like taking care of it and do like all the products that you can get to get it in a certain way.
It's insane.
There was a guy I watched on Instagram, and he had curly hair. I think he was white though, but he had curly hair, but it was more like frizzy. And I think he went through at least like 10 different products. But the finished product looked really, really good. And I'm like, if this is what it takes to get your hair to do exactly what you want, man, I got to read up on a lot of stuff, because I don't know.
Well, I think too, sometimes people don't understand that their health, okay, their hair is a direct reflection of their health. So people with super dry, okay, granted, some people are super healthy and they don't have like hair that is great. But a lot of it is like the health, because what's inside of you comes out of you.
Right.
You know, and like we keep telling my daughter, you know, baby, you got to stay off of the sugars, you know, and stop eating so many carbs, and your body's fighting everything else and not able to feed your hair. And she's like, that's not it. I'm like, no, honey, that's it.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's a lot of health. Your hair is a direct reflection of your health.
Yeah, absolutely. Like what you eat, what you are is what you eat. And not just like hair, but also like your skin. Like if you notice that you're skin is more oily than whatever. I mean, some people have different. Everybody has different levels of
dandruff, acne, blackheads,
Yeah.
pimples. That's all. It's all, and a lot of it is sugar. Honestly,
Sure.
you know, but that your bacteria in your body feeds off of sugar, and parasites feed off of sugar.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and everybody's body is different, and like what they take in is different. So like what may affect me might not affect you.
no.
So it's kind of like to each their own in terms of like what they have to do in order to like, and then same thing with hair type. Like my hair type, yeah, I have curly hair, you have curly hair, but my hair type is more coarse than yours is. So what I have to do
Right.
to like maintain it is a lot different than what you have to do. Like
Yeah.
I used to wash my hair consistently every single day when I was younger. When I met Vicky, I noticed that, well, most girls also don't wash their hair every day, but
Right.
she only washed her hair like maybe twice or 3 times a week. And I was like, she has similar hair to me, so I probably shouldn't be washing my hair that often. And also like we have more oils in our scalp that keep it like that. So when you wash it frequently, it dries out your scalp. And that's why you notice that there's more dandruff and et cetera, et cetera. So there's like a whole science and stuff like that to it.
It's like total science.
And as a business owner who owns your own barbershop, you run into a lot of you learn a lot of this stuff as
that's
as you
why I
go.
sell product.
Yeah.
That's why I sell product, because your hair's curly. I got some curl cream over here.
I got
for
the
you.
exact stuff, and
As-
some of the stuff
as
you
a
have
matter
in
of
there is
fact,
really good.
Before you start the curl cream, you got to put the spray in it, and then put a little bit of curl cream in.
Yeah.
And then after that, you'll set for the rest of the day.
Yeah. Now you get into humidity, and that's a different story. Some holds.
Some holes,
Yeah.
and just sits in like, yeah, go ahead, this go. And they get out in that humidity, the thing turns flat. It's like that junk don't work. I'm like, no, it's humid.
It doesn't matter. You could be in the middle of the rainforest. It's not gonna hold.
It's not gonna hold.
But like as a business owner, there's you have to pivot a lot, right? Like you have to constantly change and add new stuff, and sometimes like, what's the phrasing? Don't, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Sometimes that's just how it is. I mean, with a barbershop, there's like a certain set of things that you need to make sure you provide. After that, it's all extra, right? So how have you noticed maybe your services or like techniques that you've had changing over like the past, like even like 10 years? 10 years, it's not even that long ago. It's
No,
2016.
It's not. I found that you get waves of people that are asking for a certain thing, but the barbershop for the most part maintains the same.
Sure.
I've been a counselor for the past 15 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody sits in my chair. There's people that come in and they want to hear about, and since I cut an electrician's hair that was telling me about a problem, I can tell you about sometimes you're electric.
Yeah.
Or, I hear about crypto, and I'm like, hey, this guy taught me about crypto. Now I can tell you about crypto.
Yeah.
Or, hey, there's certain things you shouldn't do when you go in this area. Hey, this is what I heard various people say about this area, so be careful when you go. Or there's a great restaurant.
Yeah.
So it's still that place where you go to get information while you get your hair cut.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, so in my barbershop right now, we don't play movies anymore. We throw on sports when there's a big event, like the Olympics is on now.
Yeah.
And sometimes they will have soccer on, or whenever golf comes on, hey, we're watching that. I'm on it right away. We're watching that. But for the most part, in my barbershop, I try to promote conversation by putting on music. So even though the type of music, I always listen to Christian music, whether it be worship, hip hop, trap, whatever, but it's all Christian music. And people are like, hey, well, what's that? And then we start conversation. Or if they're not interested in the music, they converse with their barber. And for the most part, it becomes a conversation. One of the most quiet kids in the shop, I hear him talk the most when he has someone in his chair that doesn't like the music that we have on. Or when they do like the music I have on, and they're both musicians, well, then they're connected there.
Yeah.
But there's always some kind of connection to be made when you have conversation.
Yeah.
And you maintain conversation.
And I honestly think that's what we need more as like a society in general.
Mhm.
Like I think when it comes to like conversing with people, it's not as much as it used to be. There was so there's been a big shift. This is kind of off topic, but relating a little bit. There's been a big shift in millennials and Gen Z in terms of dating.
Mhm.
And essentially, like, there was like a study that was showing that people no longer wanted to meet on dating apps anymore. They wanted to meet in IRL, in real life. But the biggest issue with a lot of the younger or my generation and some of like the younger generations, they don't know how to have conversations, so they get awkward. Have you ever heard of do you know what the Gen Z stare is?
No.
No, you don't. It's like ask me a question. Like how much do you charge for a cut?
So if you were to cut my hair, how much would you charge me for a cut?
I don't know. that's the Gen Z stare. So it's like a stare that they give you when it's like they don't really care.
Out of their wheelhouse, and they don't care to get
Yeah.
in the wheelhouse.
Yeah, so just like,
yeah.
I don't know, dude. I just work here. That's the kind of the epitome of what it is.
Yeah.
Which is funny because like you just get the blank stare, and it's like it's funny.
I see it all the time. It's so bad.
But that's what I mean. It's like I think that's part of the issue. I think I think it's not necessary. I don't want to put all the blame on like, you know, the generation, but a lot of it has to do with kind of what we mentioned earlier is like the technology that we have, right? It's super useful for like business or for connecting with people or whatever, but we're starting to see a lot of the side effects of what it does to society in general. And a lot of people don't know how to converse in a public setting. They can text all day, but they don't know how to converse and communicate. And part of the reason why I wanted to start this podcast is so that way for two reasons, right? Obviously Pedro wasn't able to be on the podcast anymore because he was trying to take care of his family and stuff like that. But I saw it as an opportunity to start asking a lot of people, like my connections, to have on. And I know that I wanted to build a better rapport with a lot of people that I had on the podcast. And what better way to learn about people and get closer to people than to have them on or a session where you just talk and it's about something that they're interested in. Not me, it's something that they're interested in. Right. And one thing that I've noticed that a skill that I've been able to gain from doing this is it's super simple, is asking questions. It's the easiest thing to do. And you don't realize how much conversation can happen when you just ask somebody a simple question. But
and its value is kind of brings valuable information to the table too. Because a lot of times when you ask someone something and they're like, yeah, you know, and they'll tell you something that you had no idea that even existed. Yeah. And you're like, wow, that's awesome. Yeah. You know, I forget what I was doing the other day. It was at the shop and I was talking to somebody and he shared something with me that was like, I was like, I had no idea. And, you know, it was kind of personal information. Sure. But it blew my mind that he could share that with me and say, yeah, and this is what's going on currently right now. And I'm like, whoa, dude, that is insane. Yeah. You know, conversations, asking questions bring you to a place where I think it's a level of intimacy, if you will, with people that, you know, surface, but it goes a little deeper when you ask the more questions you ask. And once you have that you actually begin to form a bond with them that wasn't there before. Sure. Yeah. And once that bond is formed, it's either going to stay connected that much or go deeper, or it may be cut off. Yeah. But you always have the potential of gaining a friend.
Oh, absolutely.
So here's the story. I was talking to a guy, comes into my shop, and I'm cutting his son's hair, and I was like, yeah, I'm telling him that I'm building my garage. And the guy says, oh, yeah, really? I was like, yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but, you know, I'm just going to wing it, and we'll see what we get. Sure. He's like, well, you do know I build houses for a living. I'm like, what?
I mean, I didn't know that.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, that's what I do. Well, I'm in the office now, but I'd love to get out there. He said, let me know a date and we'll do it. That's when I got everybody together. I surrounded the entire day around that guy.
Yeah.
And that guy came out. Well, you were there. You
Yeah,
helped.
yeah, I came.
Well, and Dave, the guy was walking around on 12-foot walls, just walking around on 2x8s like it was nothing. And I'm up there shaking. And I'm going to stay down here. You keep walking up there. But that guy came and he helped me do the entire thing. We got the whole thing up in one day.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Dude, and it's all out of connection. And then later on, his wife and him came out with my wife and I. We had dinner, and I talk to him all the time. You know, he's going through stuff, and he calls me and says, hey, I need some prayer, buddy. I said, you got it, man. When can we get together? And now there's something a little deeper there.
Yeah.
So
I never appreciated, and I say this very loosely, but I never appreciated connections. I guess let me rephrase. My perspective on connections has changed over the span, or like this last couple years, where I've realized that the more connections that you have, the better off you are. And obviously, it's like a very like old phrase, but it's not about what you know, it's about who you know. That didn't really resonate with me growing up, like up until like maybe like 2 years ago, because I see you and I see Mom and all the people you guys know, and a lot of the people that you guys know are more than willing to help for free. Obviously, you guys repay them in other aspects, food or other services and stuff like that, out of generosity because they helped you. But I'm like, wow, like if you're just a genuine person and you have a genuine connection with that other person, they'll want to help you, like, because you help them. And the more people you know, the more you can refer them to other people who need a specific thing. Right. So I've been trying to get out there and make more connections and meet more people, because at the end of the day, that's part of what we're here for. Part of the reason.
I don't think you understand how many people come in to the barbershop and they say, hey, do you know a plumber, electrician, real estate agent, finance guy? They always ask us for these things. Who's a good tax guy?
Yeah.
We have all those connections. And so aside from being a barber, I'm also an associate pastor. So being an associate pastor, I have connections at my church. So now I'm connected to the world. Yeah. I went to go visit another church this Sunday, and dude, people were walking up to me and were like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "Hey,
what's your name?
What's your name again?" Yeah,
Johnny.
But I'm connected to them. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I like a lot of times I know what they do, but I forget their name. You know, because it's like oh yeah, the lumberjack. Oh yeah, you know, the guy that builds houses. Oh yeah, he works at a flooring place. You know, so the connection of community is large when you're connected to the community. Yeah. If you're just connected to get in and get out, there's no return. There's no return. Yeah.
There was something I was gonna say, and it's gone.
Yeah.
Just like with the wind.
There it went. It's gone.
Off into the ether. Kind of reeling us back in a little bit to more of the barbershop aspect. Kind of like, obviously, the more time that passes, things change. Obviously, convenience factors change, the way you pay changes, the way that you communicate changes. But hairstyles obviously change as well. How do you personally keep up with the constant changing with trends and stuff like that? Because obviously, you know, somebody who's 14 is going to want something different than somebody who's 55.
Right. So basically, haircuts aren't different. They're just different. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hey, I'm going to use a different technique to cut your hair. The haircuts really don't get different. Like I said, back in the day, it was a low taper fade. There's a high fade. There's a low mid fade. Now kids are just leaving it long on top.
Yeah.
Before, it was a tight fade, short on top, line up the front, but the fade was always the same.
Mm-hmm.
So it just basically matters, how you cut their hair if you don't know how to cut hair.
Right.
Because
do those techniques change though? Like the way that you cut, or like the tools that you use, or even like some of the products that you use?
Products definitely change.
Yeah.
Because again, somebody sells it online,
Mm-hmm.
and they say, hey, this is what I use. And they show it to the camera. Screenshot. Yeah. They screenshot. Hey, do you have this? Yes, it's right over there.
Yeah.
Whatever the case may be.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that haircuts they change in look,
Mm-hmm.
but they don't change in technique and how you cut them.
Right.
For the most part, for guys.
Yeah.
Ladies, it's a whole nother ball game, and that's why I'm not a beautician. I'm not a cosmetologist.
Yeah.
I will not. And I'm sorry for all the ladies that get offended by this, but ladies, it's very hard to please women with their hair.
They wanted a very specific way.
Oh, yes. They come in and they come in looking like Shaka Khan and want to look like J-Lo. I'm sorry. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It doesn't work.
Yeah. It's okay to like what you like, but you got to find somebody who does what you like, right?
Yes.
It's like getting a tattoo. It's like, would you go to, if you wanted American traditional, would you go to somebody who does only line art? No. Like you wouldn't. Like you have to go to somebody specific. If you have somebody who, if you have like really coarse curly hair, would you go to somebody who only knew how to cut like straight hair? Probably not. But yeah, I think in the cosmetic realm with women, they definitely have it a lot harder, because there's always a new thing for them. There's always like a new hairstyle, or there's always like a new way to do curly hair or straight hair, or to do it this way, or to do it. There's something new always.
Well, see, that the problem is with the women, when you get their hair done, you've done 3 steps, 4 steps to get it that way for most of them.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Then they have to go home and do it just like the guys do.
Yeah.
I'm like, it's, well, you didn't do this, or you did do that. And what are you using? And yeah, they get them. A lot of the times they get them on the product sale.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
After they do their hair, it's product sale, which is genius.
Yeah.
It's genius. You got to use this serum before you blow your hair, and after you blow dry it, you got to spray it with this so it stays. And then I think it's a great tool, but I just don't have that kind of time. I don't want you in my chair for 2 hours.
Yeah.
I want you out of my chair.
But then you charge more for the time, because it's your time that they're using.
I deal with people half hour at a time, bro.
You're just like,
all I got.
Get out of the chair. I don't want you here.
Yeah, it's like, it's been great, but leave.
Please, and thank you.
Leave. Please go.
At the end of the day, culture matters more.
Mm-hmm.
And like connecting with people, kind of like what we were saying on a previous point. And how you treat customers is super important. Mm-hmm. I would assume that there's a certain technique you have to learn to do, not only be a business owner, but to be a barber, because you're constantly in communication with people. And like I said earlier, you have to defrag a lot of like altercations. Mm-hmm. You're a big people's person, so like you've learned how to navigate around some of those conversations, or sometimes you just straight up like, no, this is what it is, and then if you can go, you're more than welcome to go somewhere else, but it's how you phrase it, right? When did you think you realized you learned that skill on how to do that? Because I don't think that's inherent for people to know how to do in general. Customer service, a lot of restaurants specifically are like, a lot of people you have to focus on customer experience, because it's that and the food,
right?
It's literally, well, the atmosphere, but
So for me, it's always going to be about the greeting. Yeah. Once you have them in the chair, the rest, if you're a good barber, the rest is history. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You don't even have to talk to them. Yeah. But once you get them in the door, they come through the door. Me, Eddie beside me, we're masters at it. Mm-hmm. Hey, how you doing? Are you here? You have an appointment. Okay. Who's your appointment with? You don't have an appointment. Hey, don't worry about it. We'll take care of you. Or I'm really sorry, man.
Yeah.
Hey, I'd love to get you in though. Can you get in this day? Would you like to try? And more times than not, somebody's going to say, yeah, you know what? I'll take it another day. I'll get it another day. So, because we welcome them from the very beginning.
Right.
We didn't decide, we ain't got nothing.
Yeah.
You know, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Man, you just turn people away.
Yeah.
No, hey, how you doing? I'll stop cutting. I'll shake my hand off and I'll shake their hand and ask them to have a seat. We'll be right with you. You know? And a lot of the times, if people don't feel that,
it's like,
they're
I'll
like,
just go somewhere else.
Yeah, I'll just go somewhere else.
Yeah.
But most of the time, more often than not, people want to feel that welcome. And that's how we do it. We walk in, hey, listen up. Come on in. We'll take care of you. If I can't take care of you, that guy on the end or him will take care of you.
Yeah.
But we'll squeeze you in. Notice, and I notice that when we do it, we're like, hey, what are you getting done? Because it could be a half hour, 45-minute cut. And look, I'm only going to be able to do this much for you. I can only get your hair, because if you want your hair and beard done, I'm not going to have enough time. So I'm going to try and get your hair done. And if I get your beard done, it's a bonus.
Right.
But we're just going to, we'll play it by ear and we'll get you in the chair. More times than not, people love it and they come back and they're like, hey, here's my card. Give me a call. You know, and if it's a person that really tips you, I look at them and be like, here's my personal phone number. Text me whenever you need.
Here's my Venmo. You can send me more money, please.
And it ends up being that they become long-term clients. And I have people that drive 20, 30 minutes. You know, a lot of people actually that drive 20, 30 minutes to come and get their haircut with us.
Yeah.
Why? And I think it's not because we're amazing, which we're good at what we do, but I think the experience that they feel, there's that connection that we were talking about. And they just want to come out and like, yeah, I get to go get my haircut, not I have to go get my haircut. Even though everybody says I have to, it's more like an emotional I get to.
Yeah.
And they come in and they feel the peace, the joy, the fun, you know what I mean? Safe atmosphere for adults just like it is for kids.
Right.
And people come back.
Yeah.
And the word spreads so fast.
Is that why you put Jason all the way in the back?
Yes, that's exactly why I put him in the back. I was like, I could give you the front, but you don't want this because you got to say hi to everybody that comes through the doors. He's like, nah, I'll take the back seat.
I'll take the back.
Yeah. I'm glad with him there. I'm very happy with him there. You know?
How long did it take you to get the ball rolling on the business? I don't think I've ever asked you that.
So I opened up my business. It was down in a cut. It was behind a building, underneath the building. And I opened, and it took me 3 months, and I was paying my rent out of my savings account. And after the third month, I started to be in the black. I was able to pay for gas, and have to worry about food so much. And then everything started rolling because I was the first one to come into Ephrata, Pennsylvania, for those who were watching from far away, Ephrata, Pennsylvania, and bring the fade into that small town. You know, I had various clients that were driving from Ephrata into Lancaster to get their hair cut. And then they were like, hey, why don't you come to Ephrata? It'd be easier. So I came to Ephrata. Yeah. And I started cutting hair in Ephrata. And after the first year, I moved from where I was to a main street. And it was wild because not many people had a second story barbershop. You had to go up the stairs and into my barbershop. Right. And when I first opened my barbershop, it was rough because I didn't have money to fix stuff up. I was just like, you're getting paint and a small piece of wood floor. I had carpet in my barbershop. You know how hard that was to clean? Yeah. Like that was the most awful part. And 3 years in actually, I was able to go and afford flooring for my used chairs, my used stations, and I was able to afford flooring and put a new floor in. Yeah. And then years later, I met my wife, and she gave me a vision for the barbershop. She was like, I was like, I want to do this type of barbershop. and she went shopping.
Yeah,
and
she
went
goes all out.
secondhand shopping and found all kinds of pictures and ideas. And that day we remodeled the shop. I built the shop in the shop. I was bringing, she was like, there was a lawyer's desk,
Mm-hmm.
and this desk was huge. It was like put together, it was like 15 feet.
Yeah.
And I took it, I cut it, took the bottom end off of it, and I made stations, went to IKEA, found legs, went to the Reuse It over here that was at the Restore. Habitat Restore.
Okay, yeah.
I bought cabinets, set those cabinets on top that split the stations. That was their storage.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just, next thing you know, I had a barbershop and people loved the barbershop. I had theater seats that I got from Penn Cinema.
Yeah, I remember that.
Put those in.
I'm like, these seats are comfy.
Yeah, that was my thing. I had movies on, big TVs, and people were like in love with it.
Yeah.
And it had a draw to it. And like it took me a good 2-3 years so that I would, and then next thing you know, I was able to have a car. I bought a house, but had I been smarter with my money earlier,
Mm-hmm.
I would have owned the barbershop,
Yeah.
the building.
Right.
But prices went up too fast by the time I was making money
Mm-hmm.
and realized I was making as much money as I did. Because you can blow money so
that.
fast.
Yeah,
oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
gosh. Especially when you have cash.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
only.
Yeah.
For any young barber out there that I said, put numbers in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Every time you make something, write down how much you made.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the week, look at how much you made and how much you have left.
Right.
And that's going to tell you where you're wasting your money.
Mm-hmm.
I took a Dave Ramsey course.
Mm-hmm.
It's a financial
Bald
peace.
guy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Financial Peace University, right? The one thing that he said that stuck with me forever, and it still sticks with me, tell your money where to go or you'll always wonder where it went.
Interesting.
And like if you don't put a name to your money,
Mm-hmm.
if you don't tell it where to go, you'll always wonder where it went.
Right.
I was at the end of my week, and then I started doing. I was spending $215 to $20 a week on eating out. I was like, "Damn,
Yeah.
that's $800 a month.
Yeah. It's a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. That's half of my mortgage payment."
Yeah. You're like, I'd like $812 back out of that.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
And like you look at the debt to income ratio and so on and so forth. I would have owned a house a lot sooner.
Mm-hmm.
26 years, I'd be done with paying off my house.
Yeah.
And now I got a loan 10 years ago, and I'm already almost done paying off my house. And at 11 years in, I'm over halfway done.
Right.
Out of a 30-year loan.
Yeah.
So, granted, the sooner you get to realize how much money you're actually making and you're spending, life gets easier for you.
Yeah. I think either, granted, sometimes people learn financial smarts later on in life. Some people never do. I've usually been pretty good with my money in general. But there are definitely times where like I reflect on like a purchase and like, did I really need to? I did it because I'm at home or X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, yeah, probably not the smartest expense that I've paid for, but at this point, I've already paid for it. What am I gonna? I can't take it back now.
Yeah.
But yeah, a lot of that is fighting the urges to buy or go out and eat and spend money that way.
My crutch was shoes.
Yeah.
And it's not like I was into the J's and the new Air Force or like the Kanye's. None of that.
Yeah.
I just liked having shoes, and if I saw a sale and a shoe was $40-$60,
You better believe you're out there.
Believe it's coming home with me.
Yeah.
And that's why I have 84 pairs of shoes right now. And I stopped. Last year I was like, I'm lying. I bought a pair yesterday. I'm such a liar. But I bought a pair yesterday, but they were $40.
Yeah, like what?
You know?
I mean, come on, it's $40.
And nobody buys shoes at Eddie Bauer's, but I do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And they were cool looking shoes. And I was like, yeah, they're going to, where'd you get those? Eddie Bauer, $40.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. But a lot of people paid, they were $130 shoes.
Yeah. You be careful. You might catch up to Carlos. I don't think he has this many anymore, but he had like 300 pairs of shoes at one point.
Yeah. I'm at the point right now, if I would have had the shoes that they have, I'd be selling them online. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm like, these are rare. You might want to get these. Yeah. And people will buy them. Yeah. People will buy them.
So we're reaching the end of this podcast episode. Okay. But you remember how you
said a game.
Yeah, there's a little surprise at the end of this podcast, okay? So what I love to do for every guest that comes on the podcast is I cue the music. You can't hear it. There's no music playing. I mean, you can jam to some music in your head right now if you want. It's really loud, actually, right now. Or maybe that's just my internal dialogue. But I love to have people give their hot take on this particular topic that we were talking about. So give your hot take on, it could be anything in like the barbershop haircut realm, anything that like is a controversial take that most people wouldn't agree with, but that you stay firm on. You're like, this shouldn't be this way, or it should be this way, kind of thing.
Okay. My take on it is, for me, my barbershop is not my take. Okay. Right. My barbershop is not just a place where people come in to get their haircut. They're coming to get ministered to. Right. Okay. Yeah. Whether it be just a haircut or to be a little counseling session. And it will always be that for me, because if it decides, if I ever take it to be anything else, then it's not me. Right. It's someone else's. Because my take is you come into Sharp Styles, right? And when you get your haircut, you're going to hear Christian music. You're going to hear about God. You're going to hear about Jesus, how he can change, will change, or has changed somebody else's life. And the opportunity is for you. Okay. And most people say you should separate your religion or your beliefs from the barbershop. No, my barbershop is that belief. And if you can't accept that, well, then you're welcome to come to my barbershop. And if you can accept that, you're welcome to come to my barbershop. And a lot of people say, well, that, just because we think different, means that I should talk down to you, or no, that's not the case. It's like, I welcome that conversation. And when you sit and you talk to me, you'll realize and you'll understand, I just want to see you better. It's not about me, and it's not what I believe that say, yeah, I won because you believe what I believe. No, I want to share what I believe because I believe I'm winning. At life, not over you or any other subject. I'm winning at life because God has given me the opportunity to be where I am, where I can influence people, talk to people, help people, bless people financially, spiritually, through counseling, through whatever. I can bless those people. And I want you to be at the same place. This is not exclusive to me. It's I'm here. I want you to be with me and not against me. Right. And even if you're not with me, you're still not against me. You're still I always look at you as a potential with me. So that's my hot take.
Yeah, I like that. It's one of those things where it's like, from a business standpoint, it's how you want to run it, right? It's like you dictate what is being showcased in it, and the energy and the vibe that you bring to not just like the product or service that you're selling, but like to the people that you're bringing in to your barbershop. And it's one of those things where you were nothing without it, or if you think that you're nothing without it, if you're nothing without it, then maybe you rely too much on it. Right. And so I think when it comes to having anything, right, like whether it's a relationship, whether it's like a physical possession or anything, like a house, even maybe, if you pride yourself too much in that particular thing, and you think that that's all you are, remove it and if you remove that thing from your life, it shouldn't shake the foundation of who you are in general.
It's what we as Christians call idolatry.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've been trying to like be okay with whatever. Like if I'm doing the podcast and if I'm not doing the podcast, I'm still the same thing. Like even if the podcast doesn't work out, which it's just more like a hobby thing, then it doesn't work out, and I'm still okay. It's not like I'm any different or anything like that. Right. But yeah, no, I like that. I like that hot take. You also know what I like?
What?
The ending of this podcast. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on another episode of the Leisure Hub podcast. I've been your host, Justin, alongside me, my tío, my uncle, Nelson. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Do you want to drop any plugs? You want to drop your business?
Oh, yeah. Seppi Sharp Styles, located 18 West Main Street, Ephrata. If at any point in time you're in town and you want to check it out, stop in. We're glad to take care of you. If I'm not there, somebody will be.
And make sure you handcuff yourself to the door and make sure that'll secure your appointment.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
On the next one.
Peace. All right. That was the first one.
That was good.
Yeah.
That was fun.